Some friendships feel like they were written in the stars. That's how it was with me and Alina. We met on the first day of college, two nervous 18-year-olds assigned to the same dorm room. She was from a small town upstate. I was from the suburbs. We had nothing in common except fear and a box of instant noodles. By the end of that first week, we were inseparable. For 15 years, she was my person. The one I called when my mother got sick. The one who showed up at my door with ice cream when my first serious relationship ended. The one who stood beside me at my wedding, crying harder than anyone, handing me tissues while I walked down the aisle. She caught the bouquet at that wedding. We laughed about it for years. "See," she'd say, "I'm next. The universe is telling you." I wanted that for her. I wanted her to find what I'd found with Shane. My husband, Shane, was quiet and steady, the kind of man who remembered anniversaries and brought tea without being asked. He wasn't flashy or exciting, but he was solid. He was mine. Alina dated. A lot. She had a type, artistic, unreliable, always on the verge of something big that never quite happened. I listened to every story, offered advice, held her hand when it ended badly. That's what best friends do. Or so I thought. Looking back now, I see the signs I ignored. The way she laughed too long at his jokes. The way she found reasons to touch his arm when she talked to him. The way she showed up at our house more often after he started working from home. I saw it. Some part of me saw it. But I didn't want to believe it. You don't want to believe that the person who knows your deepest secrets, your biggest fears, your most vulnerable moments, would use all of that against you. I believed in her. I believed in us. That was my mistake. It happened on a Tuesday evening in October. Shane was in the shower. His phone was on the kitchen counter, buzzing with notifications. I wasn't looking for anything. I was just clearing space, moving things aside to wipe down the counter. Then I saw her name. Alina. The message preview was short. Just a few words. But those words stopped my heart. I keep thinking about last night. When can we do it again? I stared at the screen. The world went quiet. The kitchen, the house, my entire life. Everything faded except those words. Last night. He'd been out late last night. A work thing, he said. I'd believed him. Do it again. Again. So it wasn't the first time. My hands were shaking. I picked up the phone. His password was our anniversary. He'd never changed it. I typed it in. And then I read everything. Months of messages. Months of planning. Months of them laughing at me, talking about me, discussing how to keep me from finding out. Alina, my best friend, the woman who caught my bouquet, the woman who cried at my wedding, had been sleeping with my husband for 6 months. And they were good at hiding it. Hotel rooms during her work trips. Late nights when he was helping a friend move. Afternoons when I thought she was at the gym and he was on conference calls. I read every message, every cruel joke, every intimate detail he'd shared with her. Details about me, about our marriage, about things I'd told her in confidence, things she'd used to get closer to him. When I finished, I set the phone down carefully, exactly where I'd found it. Then I walked to the bathroom, stood outside the door, and listened to the water running. He was in there, washing away the day, probably thinking about her. Probably planning the next time. I didn't cry. Not yet. Something else was building inside me. Something cold and clear and focused. I walked back to the kitchen, picked up my own phone and took photos of every message. Every date. Every detail. I saved them to a folder and backed them up to the cloud. Then I sat down at the table and waited for him to come out. When he did, towel around his waist, smiling that familiar smile, I looked at him and saw a stranger. "Dinner ready?" he asked. "Not yet," I said. "Sit down. We need to talk." He sat. I watched his face as I pulled out my phone and scrolled to the first screenshot. I watched the color drain from his cheeks. I watched his mouth open and close, searching for words that didn't exist. "I can explain," he finally said. "Don't." My voice was calm. Calmer than I felt. "Don't insult me by trying to explain. I read everything. Every message. Every plan. Every joke at my expense." He reached for me. I pulled back. 6 months, I said. 6 months of lying to my face. 6 months of coming home to me after being with her. And my voice cracked. She was my best friend. She was at our wedding. She caught the bouquet, Shane. She caught it, and you both spent 6 months destroying everything. Tears were streaming down his face now. I didn't care. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I'm so sorry. It was a mistake. It didn't mean anything." "Don't." I stood up. "Don't you dare say it didn't mean anything. It meant enough to do it for 6 months. It meant enough to lie every single day. It meant enough to destroy 2 people who trusted you." I walked to the bedroom, pulled a bag from the closet, and started packing. He followed, hovering, pleading. "Where are you going? Please, let's talk about this." "I'm going to my sister's. And when I come back, I expect you to be gone. We'll figure out the rest later." I left him standing in the bedroom, still in his towel, still crying. I drove to my sister's house in a daze, the city lights blurring past, my mind replaying every moment of the last 6 months. The late nights. The sudden work trips. The way Alina had stopped looking me in the eye. It all made sense now. My sister opened the door and took one look at my face. She didn't ask questions. She just pulled me inside, wrapped me in a blanket, and held me while I finally cried. The next few weeks were a blur. Shane moved out. Lawyers were called. Friends picked sides. Most of them, I learned, had known something was off. They'd seen the way Alina looked at him. They'd noticed the way he found excuses to talk about her. They hadn't said anything because they didn't want to hurt me. I lost 2 people that month. My husband and my best friend. But I gained something too, clarity. I saw everything clearly now. The manipulation. The gaslighting. The way she'd positioned herself as the supportive friend while slowly, carefully, dismantling my marriage. She'd wanted him from the beginning. She'd waited. And then she'd taken. I called her once. Just once. She answered on the second ring, her voice bright, as if nothing had happened. "Hey, I've been meaning to call you. How are you? How am I?" I laughed, but there was no humor in it. "How do you think I am, Alina?" I read the messages. All of them. Silence. 6 months, I continued. 6 months of pretending to be my friend while you were sleeping with my husband. 6 months of asking about my marriage while you were destroying it. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "It just happened." Nothing just happens. You planned this. You waited. You manipulated. And now you can have him. He's all yours. I hung up. That should have been the end. Walk away. Heal. Move on. But it wasn't. Because a few weeks later, I found out something that changed everything. It was my sister who told me. She'd heard it from a friend who worked at the same company as Alina. Alina had been promoted. A big promotion, the kind that came with an office and a salary bump and a parking spot with her name on it. The promotion had been announced 3 months ago. 3 months before I found the messages. 3 months before everything fell apart. And the person who signed off on that promotion? Shane. He was on the hiring committee. He'd advocated for her. Pushed for her. Made sure she got it. It wasn't just an affair. It was a transaction. She got the promotion. He got her. I sat with that information for a long time. I thought about calling lawyers, exposing them at work, burning everything down. I had the screenshots. I had proof. But that wasn't enough. I wanted something more. I waited. I watched from a distance as they went public with their relationship. As they posted photos together, smiling, happy, as if they hadn't destroyed me to get there. as Alina started wearing the necklace Shane had given me on our 5th anniversary. I recognized it in a photo. She'd probably asked for it. He'd probably given it without a second thought. I waited some more. And then, 6 months later, I got what I was waiting for. An invitation. Alina was getting married. To Shane. And she was inviting me. Not out of guilt, I knew. Out of cruelty. She wanted me to see them happy. She wanted me to know she'd won. I RSVP'd yes. The wedding was at a vineyard, beautiful and expensive, everything Alina had always wanted. I arrived alone, wearing a simple blue dress, my head held high. People stared. Whispers followed me. I ignored them all. I found my seat near the back, far from the action, exactly where I wanted to be. The ceremony was lovely, if you ignored the fact that the bride had stolen the groom. Vows were exchanged. Tears were shed. Everyone clapped. Then came the reception. Dinner. Speeches. Champagne. And then, when the dancing started, I made my move. I found the wedding coordinator, a nervous young woman juggling a clipboard and a headset. I have a gift for the bride, I said. It's in my car. Can someone help me bring it in? She nodded and called over 2 assistants. We walked to my car, where I opened the trunk and revealed a large, beautifully wrapped box. What is it? The coordinator asked. A memory book, I said. Photos from all the years Alina and I were friends. She'll want to see it. They carried it inside and placed it on the gift table. I watched from across the room as Alina noticed it, as she walked over, as she read the card attached. For my best friend. I hope you remember everything. She opened it. Inside, there were no photos of happy memories. There were screenshots. Every message she'd sent Shane. Every cruel comment. Every plan they'd made. Printed and bound in a beautiful leather book with a note on the first page. You wanted everyone to see how happy you are. I wanted everyone to see how you got here. Alina's face went white. She slammed the book shut, but it was too late. Her maid of honor had seen. Her mother had seen. Guests nearby had seen. I walked toward her, calmly, slowly, the room parting around me. Congratulations, Alina, I said. You got everything you wanted. The promotion. The man. The wedding. I just wanted everyone to know the real story. Her face twisted with rage. You're insane. This is harassment. I'll call the police. Call them, I said. I have copies. Digital copies, printed copies, copies with everyone who matters. Your boss, your clients, your new in-laws. They'll all get one if you try to come after me. I turned to leave, then stopped. Oh, and Alina? That necklace you're wearing? It was mine. Shane gave it to me on our 5th anniversary. You can keep it. It's tainted now. Like everything else you've touched. I walked out of that vineyard and never looked back. The fallout was swift. Alina's promotion was reviewed. Shane was quietly let go from his job. Their marriage lasted 18 months before it crumbled under the weight of what they'd done. I didn't gloat. I didn't celebrate. I just lived my life, slowly rebuilding, slowly healing. It took years. But eventually, I found someone new. Someone honest. Someone who knew my whole story and loved me anyway. And Alina? She sent me a message once, years later. Just 2 words. I'm sorry. I read it. I thought about everything. The friendship. The betrayal. The wedding. The revenge. Then I deleted it and moved on with my day. Because in the end, the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's peace. It's waking up one day and realizing you don't think about them anymore. It's being happy, truly happy, while they're still trapped in the mess they made. She said she was my best friend. Then I read her message to my husband. And I'll never trust anyone the same way again. But I'm okay with that. I'm more than okay. I'm free.